How much should you invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin? Get this question all the time, and in today's video we're going to be covering the topic of one word, and that word is risk. What we're seeing right now is cryptocurrency. That entire space has just been blowing up. The media is just going nuts, eating it up. People are interested in it because of one thing: crazy returns. If you look over the past year, 2017, the cryptocurrency space has just exploded the upside. It's a brand new asset, and people, they're excited about the future potential with cryptocurrency, other uses, smart contracts, things like that. And it's this asset that's never existed before. We're seeing a case of not technically mass adoption, but you're seeing it in the mainstream news. People are covering it. People are asking, what is Bitcoin? What is this blockchain technology? What the hell's going on? Because they are seeing people getting rich from it. When that happens, when you see people get rich from it, everyone becomes interested. Because, hey, okay, if you invested a couple $1,000 at the beginning of the year, you'd see hundreds of % in return on that capital, which is just nuts when you're looking at traditional investments. Nothing like that has, given returns like that unless you're talking about penny stocks. Basically, we're talking about an asset class that is extremely risky, and that is why we are going to talk about risk. Because I am seeing something that's kind of scary for me. I'm, finance background, and I would consider myself a little bit more conservative. And I'm seeing right now, I am interested in the space, and I think it has future potential. But when I search for stuff online, I'll get targeted for ads, and you see people trying to take advantage of the misinformed and people that are not educated. Because you are seeing an explosion of people that are talking about making crazy amounts of money. They're throwing out just ridiculous targets in the short term, right? They're talking about 1,000% gains still, even though we've had an amazing year. And it could happen, but the people that are coming out with PDFs and ebooks about, hey, I can teach you how to make as much money as I did, when in reality, any idiot could have made a ton of money in this market just because throw a dart at a dartboard and you'd have hit any cryptocurrency. Everything's been rising, so just because you've made money does not mean you're an intelligent investor. Because I see the space as more of a speculative bet than a real investment, and I think there's room for speculative bets in your portfolio. That's what I want to talk to you guys about. When I look at a normal investment, you're talking about a business, a piece of property, something that you invest in a certain amount of money, and there's a cash flow. There's money that's being made from that asset. It's productive, right? And currency, if you think about it, would you invest in the US dollar? Would you invest in yen? Would you just throw money at a currency that's been around a while? And that's kind of what you're doing with cryptocurrency, but the only difference is the fact that cryptocurrency is brand new, right? It's a brand new space, and the supply is limited, and then you have the demand increasing. Demand is increasing, I think, right now, mostly from the fact that people are getting rich from it. You're seeing this feedback loop of people making money from it, saying, oh my god, I've made so much money, check this out, this is amazing. And then someone else saying, oh, I want to make money, this is easy money, all I have to do is throw a couple $100, a couple $1,000 into it. And these people are uneducated when it comes to investing, and they do not care about risk, right? They see other people making money and they want to hop on that train. And I'm not saying, you shouldn't invest in cryptocurrency, because I do have a portion of my portfolio in the space. Like I said, I think it has a future, but there are some things, some red flags that you have to realize when it comes to investing in this space. If you've been invested in Bitcoin, it has had the benefit of being one of the most popular cryptocurrencies and something that's been in the news, so it's been getting highlighted a lot. You have thousands of cryptocurrencies that are being created, and one of the risks you have is, okay, Bitcoin has been around the longest, but what happens if something comes along that copies the same technology as Bitcoin, the same underlying purpose, but makes it better, makes it faster, cheaper. What you'll see is that sure, you may have been invested in this currency, but what happens if something clearly comes out that's better, all of a sudden your investment is now worthless because there's something that's better, and everyone can switch over to it, right? So that's one downside to it, because there's a competition between these decentralized currencies. You're not necessarily going to have these top dogs stay the top dogs. So all this disclaimer, this is not financial advice. This is just my own opinion. You can listen to me or not. For me, like I said, it's a speculative bet. And what I'm doing right now is I kind of have set in my mind a percentage of how much cryptocurrency I want to have as a percentage of my overall investing portfolio. So hypothetically, if you have like $50,000 and you want 10% of cryptocurrency in your portfolio, you take $5,000 and you say, hey, this is high risk stuff. It could go to zero, but if it does go to zero, at the end of the day, it's only 10%. You can come back from that. You take less of a percentage on stuff that could potentially 6x, 10x, 20x. And what my plan is as that portion, not necessarily is going to continue to grow like it has. I mean, eventually, if you are invested in something like a currency and it does reach mass adoption, there's a point where if it is truly a currency, it's not going to continue to have crazy gains, because it reaches a point where everyone is using it, everyone knows about it, and no longer is a way to make money. As it increases in price from my initial investment, my plan is to, let's say it gains 400%, I take out a quarter. What I'm doing is getting back my initial investment, and then also just continually on a monthly basis throwing 10% of my investment money into cryptocurrencies. Once the percentage of my cryptocurrency reaches around 30 or 40% of my total investments, I like to take the conservative approach and realize that, hey, there's competitors out there competing in the space, trying to make a currency that's better than what's out there right now, and there's a chance that it may come down. Hey, it's always good to take profits off the table, realize those gains, move it into safer assets that are more reliable. Sure, they're not going to have these insane gains, but you're also not going to have insane crashes. I think people need to kind of drill that into their head. They kind of get this euphoric sense of, oh my god, I've made so many gains in a short amount of time. Why not just throw all my money into it? And that's because what happens is that creates a speculative bubble, which I kind of think we're kind of getting into, because I think there's a disconnect between actual usage and the price. I would not advise doing that, but like I said, it's a conservative approach. I think everyone should really set a percentage in their own mind, saying, okay, if I gain this much, I'm going to take out this much. Be emotionless about it, because if emotions come into it, you're trading, right? You're gambling. It's smart to take some money off the table when you're up, because if it does come down, then hey, it's fine. You can see that as maybe a little buying opportunity, instead of freaking out that you're going to lose money to the point where maybe you're losing money on the initial investment. That's just my opinion on this whole space right now. I think everyone should really think about risk and how much risk they're actually taking. This is for all the newbies out there that are getting into the space and saying, how much should I invest? Well, really you should invest. I mean, it's boring, you've heard it 1,000 times, but what you're willing to lose. I truly believe that because of the reasons I stated earlier. Risk, guys. We gotta talk about risk. Risk is the most important question. Also your timeline, right? Do you need this money in a year? Do not invest in cryptocurrency. You need it in 20 years? Hey, why not? Why not take a stab at it? Thanks guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to Main Street Wolf, where we talk about everything money related, mostly fintech, cryptocurrency, and then also personal finance stuff. Thanks guys again for watching, and have a great day.